Can you do this? As early as your 40s, you may lose muscle and strength. Protein supports muscle health. Ensure Max Protein has 30 grams of high-quality protein to feed your muscles up to 7 hours. So take the challenge. Ensure.
Motorists who traverse several areas in St. Elizabeth have taken protest action as frustration grows over deteriorating road conditions. Alia Bryant reports.
Frustration boiled over in burnt Savannah, St. Elizabeth Monday as motorists protested the worsening road conditions. The deterioration started following the passage of Hurricane Melissa and has continued as heavy rainfall has resulted in further damage to the thoroughfares. Near the Lacovia police station, traffic has been reduced to single lane due to a 17-foot deep breakaway.
Right now, I drive a 2012 Honda Stream. I don't like to hear it. It come like I want old truck me I drive from back in the 80s. We can't keep it no longer because we have to run taxi. A taxi run on the road, you know. You understand? And a daily, I have to carry people. I carry 2 on the back and 3 in the middle, 1 in front, and then I carry dig out. The whole of the car bottom dig out. So we are trying to do a peaceful protest in the road that burns Savannah. We need road around there.
However, residents contend that repeated efforts to contact and secure the attention of their Member of Parliament for North East St. Elizabeth, Zalika Jess, have been unsuccessful.
Have you ever heard of she coming in back after she win? The only thing you can hear that the caretaker is going around with his backhoe and his assistant and trying to help the person. The caretaker is still doing a job of an MP. So we need the MP for North East St. Elizabeth to come and assist us, to come and assist the road, because you serve us a bit of medicine.
Member of Parliament Zalika Jess says she is aware of the concerns and has raised the matter with the relevant government agencies to have the roads repaired.
I was told from about 4 weeks ago, I was told by the National Works Agency that they had deployed a team to do an investigation and inspection. I was also told that they would recommend that the road be closed until such time that they can get the funds from central government to effect the repairs. As Member of Parliament, I do not get resources. I do not get an allocation to fix the roads. The government needs to do what the government has been elected to do. Help us to fix the roads here.
Alia Bryant, TVJ News.
Taxi operators are being urged to properly utilize the Aracabessa Transport Center amid growing concerns over illegal parking and traffic congestion in the town. Mayor of Port Maria Fitzroy Wilson is calling on the police to step up enforcement as the taxi operators are parking in the town center, contributing to traffic buildup and disorder. Now, he argues that the transport center was established to improve order and efficiency, and its continued underuse is undermining those efforts. For her part, Inspector Charmaine Green says the matter is being reviewed and she will be examining the situation to determine the appropriate response.
Especially around the crossroads and in front of Miss Shim there, if we can get them to use the transportation center, then the municipal corporation would be more than able to try to effect if there are any repairs that need to be done.
A local medical expert is warning that cardiovascular disease continues to rise across the Western Hemisphere. Dr. Lauren Scott of the Heart and Vascular Center says this remains a leading cause of death and illness, driving both mortality and morbidity. Health officials are urging greater awareness and prevention, especially among high-risk groups. Now, pregnant women in particular are being advised to stay alert to potential heart-related complications.
Of mothers with what we call cardiomyopathy and heart disease related to pregnancy. And so often a lot of these mothers are vulnerable themselves and are under-resourced and not able to take care of some of the management issues that arise from this disease in pregnancy. But that is just one aspect. There are many aspects of maternal health compromise and vulnerability, from teenage that brings greater risk to other areas in medicine and in cardiology with cardiomyopathy. So it's perhaps these exposures that sensitize me to the need for mothers to be supported.
And it's time for a break, but do stay with us. More stories when we return. Welcome back to the Midday News. The parliamentary opposition is calling for the National Reconstruction and Resilience Authority Nara bill to be sent to a joint select committee before advancing further in Parliament. Senator Cleveland Tomlinson says the bill has major governance gaps, including the absence of a board, audit committee, internal auditor, and risk management framework, despite the authority being responsible for managing billions in public funds and facilitating private investment.
The bill in its current form is an affront to accountability and good governance. It makes no provision for a board of the authority. There's no audit committee, no internal auditor, and no clear risk management function. Yet, this is an entity that will be responsible for managing billions of dollars, including public funds and facilitating private investment. That cannot be right.
It's now time for the Business Minute. Digicel Group has announced another step in its financial turnaround following the successful repricing of a major loan. The company says the move will lower borrowing costs on its existing debt, reflecting improved operating performance and tighter financial management. Digicel recently made a voluntary payment of $100 million on the loan as part of efforts to reduce its debt levels. Further afield, oil prices have risen after plans for a second round of peace talks between the U.S. and Iran stalled again. Brent, the global benchmark, rose by around 2% to $109.33 a barrel, while U.S. traded crude also increased by 2% at $96.78. U.S. President Donald Trump said on Saturday that Washington had canceled plans to send a team to Pakistan for negotiations with their Iranian counterparts. Global energy supplies have been under intense pressure since the start of the Iran war, as the crucial Strait of Hormuz waterway has been effectively closed by the conflict. And that's it for the Business Minute. Time now for the top stories from around the world.
The Inter-American Commission on Human Rights, the IACHR, says it remains deeply concerned about escalating violence in Haiti. In its latest report, the Commission points to rising gang activity, armed civilian groups, and a growing number of displaced people. It notes over 4,000 killings in the first 9 months of last year, along with increasing cases of sexual violence. While efforts are underway to restore stability and prepare for elections in 2026, the IACHR warns that insecurity, weak institutions, and limited funding continue to undermine human rights and the country's recovery. And on the international scene, the U.S. military struck an alleged drug trafficking boat in the Eastern Pacific Ocean on Sunday, killing 3 people. U.S. Central Command announced the strike on social media. The agency said no U.S. military members were harmed. The strike is part of Operation Southern Spear, which targets alleged drug trafficking routes in the area. At least 185 people have been killed in the strikes. And those were the top regional and international stories. I'm Aliyah Bryant.
Thank you, Alia. We now head to our final break. When we come back, we'll have your Midday Sports Report.
As early as your 40s, you may lose muscle and strength. Protein supports muscle health. Ensure Max Protein has 30 grams of high-quality protein to feed your muscles up to 7 hours. So take the challenge. Ensure.